Hey there, pretty lady. Did I tell you I have a pet bear? Coming up today in the Geekasaurus, we check out all of the ranger pets. Hello and welcome to the Geekasaurus. Today we're going to look at all of the different pets that the ranger has. Now, I didn't even think of this before, and I kind of slapped myself in the forehead thinking about it now, but in structured PvP, you can become level 80 and you have all of your skills and abilities, and rangers can have every single pet. The only problem I see with this is currently in beta you can see every single pet, so all of the rare Hall of Monuments ones are accessible in beta for everybody too. So I don't know if those are going to be locked or unlocked when it finally goes out to release. Let's look at each one of the pets and talk a little bit about what they do. Okay, first up we have a boar, kind of obvious what they do. This is a fern hound. It's the first pet that the Silvaris are allowed to pick that's unique to the Silvari. Next up is a white raven. This is worth 25 points in the Hall of Monuments. Like I was saying, you can see the Hall of Monuments pets here, including the rarer ones. I walk around a little bit with this one because I wanted you to notice the flight mechanics. In other MMOs, when you had a flying pet, it was always big and large and sort of in the way. This one, as it moves, it flies, of course, but when you get to a next spot, it quickly sits back down on the ground, which is quite nice. This is a forest spider. It has a completely different look than the other spiders, and that's something you'll see as we get going on here. Next one, this is a Crichton Drakehound. Very easy to get. It's right outside Queensdale. I might do a video showing you how to get one of these guys. Quite easy to get. Kind of resembles a Great Dane. Next one is a Jaguar, or Jaguar, however you want to pronounce it. Really pretty cat. I'll zoom in here so you can get a better look at it. Sorry, I had to kind of move around so they could sort of see how the pets moved, and then zoom the camera in so we got a good look at each one of them. Next up is a white moa. Okay, so look at the moa. You would expect that each one would be exactly the same and have just different colored feathers, but when we get to the other ones, you'll see they have a different look. This is a whiptail devourer. Up next, we have a cave spider. If you've ever seen a cave spider in real life, they're really creepy looking, and this one's no different. It has sort of a spiky looking carapace. Kind of cool. Alright, next up we have a juvenile raven, and this is your standard black raven. I think this would probably be an easy one to get. It's not a Hall of Monuments pet. Once again, look at the flight mechanics. I think they did a great job of making it look like it's a bird. It flies around, soars and all that, and then it quickly sits back down on the ground. Next up we have one high on the creep out factor. It's a Morello. It's a big hound that has no fur. It kind of looks like a chupacabra, if you're familiar with what those look like. I almost think this would have been better as a necropet. Alright, now we have a polar bear. Not quite sure where to get these ones, obviously in the north somewhere. In my opinion, this is one of the models I think could use a bit of work. It's a good looking model, but I don't know, it doesn't look as some other polar bears I've seen in other games. Kind of cute still though. Next up, we have a juvenile black bear. And I live in New York, and this is definitely what a black bear looks like. We've seen them around before. My wife almost hit one once on a trip. Here we have the Black Widow Spider, and this is a Hall of Monuments pet. It is for 30 points in the Hall of Monuments. It's actually the last pet you can unlock in the current Hall of Monuments rewards system. Quite cool looking. Next up we have a blue moa. So this one does look a lot like the white one, just has kind of different feathers. The craw looks a bit bigger on this pet versus the white one, maybe just because of the coloring. Next we have just a wolf, kind of an easy one to find running around. You should be able to find some juvenile wolves fairly easy, kind of a common dog type pet. Next up is a salamander drake. The drakes all kind of look the same. The big difference I've noticed is the spikes on the back. This one has spikes, some have like a fin for the river drake. This one I really like. This is an owl, and I'll watch the animation for just a second. It looks very owl-like the way it twists its head around. And the flight on it looks great. So if you're a Harry Potter fan at all, or any of that, you'll probably enjoy having your snow owl. Next up we have a jungle spider. So this is yet another spider, and notice it looks completely different than the other ones. The only thing that's kind of the same is it has 8 legs. After that it has a different body completely. Next up is our good old brown bear. It's kind of your standard starting one for the human area, and I believe the Norn Ranger starts with a brown bear also. Next up, hyena. Very good looking model there. Hyena's back legs look a little shorter than their front legs. And it's got kind of a creepy looking eye. I don't know. Looks kind of like an undead hyena, really. Movement is really good too. Hyenas have this sort of knees together running that they captured quite well. Coming up next, we have... This one's called a juvenile hawk, but the picture on the thing looks like a bald eagle. But it is a red-tailed hawk. The model of it is, at least. The eagle picture might get changed. I'm sure that's just sort of a placeholder at this point. Remember, this is beta. These pets might be there at release. They might not. We will see. Okay, coming up next, we have Mr. Warthog. When I get one of these, I will probably name it Pumbaa. Very cute little pig. Now, the class of pet will kind of have the same abilities, but they might be slightly unique between each one. I didn't get a chance to test all of the abilities for each one of the pets to see how much different it is. Okay, this is a marsh drake. Notice it's kind of the same as the other drake, just has a green skin on it. Some of the spikes look a little different, I think, on the tail, but effectively it's the same as the salamander drake. Now we have a lash tail devourer, kind of the same as the other devourer model, a bit different. Coming up next, we have your standard eagle. Now this one, the graphic for the eagle is correct, almost. This is a golden eagle, but the graphic shows a bald eagle. But that doesn't mean the model's wrong, it's just the graphic for it. Okay, so this is the red moa, and you'll notice it kind of looks a little bit like the blue one, but it has, I think, a different shape to its neck, and head looks a little bit different. This is a carrion devourer. These are your basic scorpion type of pet. They shoot poison and all of that. This is a juvenile lynx. Pretty good looking model. I don't know, I think the snout is a little too short on the top, or the bottom is too long. I think the bottom jaw should be back just a little bit, but who am I? Okay, so this is your Hall of Monuments pet that you get at 15 points. You'll notice it has spiked collar, the neck is completely thinner. It almost looks like a carrion type of bird, like a vulture or something. And this is only for Hall of Monuments with 15 points. So once again, I don't know if they're purposefully letting us see what the pets look like in beta in the structured PvP, but I kind of thought these were only supposed to be for people who had Hall of Monuments, who had earned them. Okay, moving on to our next pet. This is the juvenile jungle stalker, and it's kind of a standard pet that you get in the Norn area, in the Silvari area, and I believe it's one of the options for humans. Oh, actually the Norn one is a snow leopard, I apologize. Next one here is an ice drake, and notice it has a completely different back. It doesn't have the spikes, it has almost like a fur growing out of its back, like on its ridge there. Next up is the snow leopard, which is with the Norn cat. And I believe you can go there and capture one yourself, even if you don't start out with one. Coming up next, this is the Arctolidus. I'm really bad with pronunciation. Basically, it's an Arctic wolf / bear mix. It kind of almost looks like a panda, and I'm not the biggest fan of that model. I don't think it looks great. Another one on the high creep out factor. This is a Semioth, which is like a burrowing pig thing, big teeth. Don't have any clue where to find these guys, but quite creepy looking. Next up, we have an alpine wolf. Pretty obvious where you'll be able to find these wolves. You can see them in WVW all the time, but they're level 80, and if you're not level 80, you won't be able to grab one. Here we have the pink moa. Notice how completely different it looks than the white moa. It has a very slender neck on it, and nice animation there. Some good looking feathers. And now we have the river drake. which has more of a shark fin look on its back. So you can see it has even a kind of a wider snout. Almost looks like a shark slapped on a lizard's body. Quite a big mouth on that guy. Alright, and then finally we come to the juvenile pig. We'll call this one Babe. It's just a pig. So let's talk a little bit real quick about the different classes of pets. The flying ones all seem to have some sort of scratch or claw mechanic. The spiders have a web and a poison. The scorpions have a poison either they can shoot or inject it. The wolves have the howl mechanic, which improves the party and everything like that. The pigs seem to have a rooting type of mechanic plus a charge. Cats all scratch, makes sense, and the moas are your kind of high intensity DPS type of pet. And your bear seems to be a good tank. Well, that about wraps it up here for our menagerie, showing you what you can get as far as rangers go. I was trying to get the underwater ones and I was not able to. I did end up capturing a jellyfish, which was kind of cool because that's an underwater only pet. You can find them just outside of the modern Lion's Arch, right in the underwater area for the old Lion's Arch, and I'm going to have a video of just that coming up soon too. So thanks a lot for watching, everybody. Please subscribe to videos, please like them, and I will be doing mostly viewer requests for the rest of the week. So thanks a lot for all your requests and suggestions. I really appreciate it. This is the Geekasaurus, and until next time... Hey Joey, did you see here this Geekasaurus' videos? I like them a lot. They're pretty good. You should watch some more, okay? Thanks, Joey. Talk to you later.